Zoro is the most famous character of the One Piece universe. He is strong, fast, and also kind. But despite having decent sword skills, he is rather dim and lacks knowledge or strategic abilities, which causes him to frequently lose track of his intended course. He is not a very expressive type of character and is not a perfect character even, but he has his fair share of flaws, but that's what makes Zoro relatable. We all can relate to Zoro, a boy who lost everything as a kid, never lost hope, and never gave up on his dream. And so, why are we talking about this? Well, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the evolution of Zoro. We will be talking about how he started his journey and the events that made him one of the best swordsmen in the One Piece universe. Let's start with how Zoro became a swordsman in the first place. Zoro as a kid always wanted to be the best swordsman, and he trained at a place called Dozo in Shimotsuki village. Zoro was strong enough to defeat people who were older than him, but there was one girl named Kuina who defeated Zoro 2,000 times. Kuina was the daughter of the master of Dozo. Zoro, meanwhile, lost 2,000 times and was really, basically miserable. He challenged Kuina once more, but this time out of Dozo and with a real sword, although Zoro lost the fight yet again. After this fight, they both get emotional. They share their feelings, and it turns out both of them want to be the best swordsman. Kuina has to prove to his father, Kushiro, who believes that girls can't be the best fighter, as their body becomes weaker as they mature. Zoro doesn't think like this. He makes a promise that he will defeat her because of his skill, not because she is a girl. But yet sadly, as the story begins, so does it end for Kuina, as she leaves Zoro behind, falling off stairs and losing her life. This incident changes Zoro's perspective, giving him more reasons to be the best. Losing someone is not new to Zoro. He doesn't have his parents. Kuina's death was shocking for Zoro. And with first losing his parents, now after a long time, he got attached to someone like him, just like him. And now he has lost her forever as well. Zoro takes his and Kuina's dreams with him and begins to train much harder. He pleads with Kushiro to give him Kuina's sword, Wado Ichimonji. He trains hard and develops his techniques in which he holds his own two swords in his hands and he holds Kuina's sword with his mouth. This is the biggest improvement in Zoro's arc so far, and he has become a lot stronger. Zoro at this point believes that he is good enough to defeat Mihawk, who is the best swordsman at this point. Zoro is not a kid anymore. He has trained for so many years alone. He then sails into the ocean to find Mihawk to fight him, but ends up getting lost. And to stay alive, for food, Zoro became a bounty hunter and started hunting pirates. Soon Zoro became a famous bounty hunter and also became the best swordsman in the East Blue. He later got an offer from two bounty hunters to join their team. Zoro wanted to become their leader, which they did not agree upon. He killed one of the team members as one tried to attack him. And later he was exploring Shellstown, and in a bar, a spoiled kid of a marine was threatening people with his wolf. The wolf attacked a little girl, and by luck, Zoro was there, and he killed the wolf, saving the girl. Helmeppo the spoiled kid didn't like what Zoro did, and he captured Zoro with the help of Marine's guards, and tied Zoro to a wooden plank, and he told him that if he spends 30 days, the government will forgive his crimes. And this is where Luffy meets Zoro for the first time. Luffy offers Zoro to join his crew, which Zoro refuses at first, because we all know he used to hunt pirates and now joining a pirate doesn't quite align with his interests. And after a day, we get to know Helmeppo's real plan. He was planning to kill Zoro, and Luffy just so happened to hear him, with hearing that he smashed Helmeppo, which sent Helmeppo crying. Luffy came back to Zoro and asked him to join him, and he said only if he brings back his sword, which is kept in the Marine's castle. Puffy brings back the swords just in time as the Marine soldiers fired upon Zoro, and Luffy saved him by shielding him. Zoro acknowledged Luffy's intentions and joined the fight using 3 swords, and he also tells him how he wants to become the best swordsman. With defeating Marine Captain Morgan with the help of Luffy, after their defeat, every Marine there was happy they didn't have to arrest Luffy and Zoro, as Captain Morgan was everybody's problem. Later, Zoro and Luffy left the town, and all the Marines saluted them as they helped them with their freedom. Zoro met Luffy, and that changed everything. Having someone like Luffy made it more possible for Zoro to achieve his dream. Luffy has a similar ambition. He also wants to become the #1 pirate, and I guess that's why they both have become like brothers. After Kuina, Luffy became his second best friend. So many years of loneliness have now ended. Zoro has a friend now. Zoro's path to becoming the best is still not an easy one, as they both left the East Blue town. They struggled to navigate through the sea as none of them knew the technique. and out of nowhere Luffy gets stuck to a giant bird which takes Luffy away from the boat. Zoro tries to follow him, but the bird is a lot faster. Luffy then gets captured because of Nami. The guy who captured Luffy was a pirate named Boogie who aimed a cannon towards Luffy and was about to attack Luffy with it. Zoro comes in time and saves Luffy by flipping the cannon towards Boogie himself. While doing this, Zoro was injured when he attacked Boogie and sliced him into pieces before flipping the cannon, but it appeared that Boogie is immune to the blade as he has devil fruit powers. Zoro was injured and Luffy was in a cage, and later the town mayor helped them and aided Zoro, and he was able to rest. Not for long though. Boogie attacked them again and destroyed the mayor's house. Zoro came face to face with Kabaji, who is a member of Boogie's crew. Kabaji took advantage of Zoro's wound and attacked the wounded spot whenever he got the chance. This was the first big fight for Zoro, and he definitely doesn't want to lose to someone like Kabaji. He knew that if he loses to him, he will not become the best. The fight was super intense. Luffy handled Boogie, with Zoro and Kabaji fighting for a long time. Zoro then manages to defeat Kabaji by slicing his chest using his onigiri. Zoro fell to the ground as he was super exhausted. They defeated every member of the Boogie's crew. This was Zoro's first fight as a pirate member and he went all in. The fight was brutal and Zoro proved to everyone that he can be the best. This particular fight was the stepping stone. He knew the journey won't be easy and he must put all his efforts in. Zoro also fought the Nyaban brothers and defeated them. This is just the beginning of Zoro's journey to becoming the best. Zoro fought a lot of enemies for a while, but he then gets the chance to fight the best swordsman, which he always wanted to battle against. He meets Mihawk, arriving to kill the Armada. Zoro sees Mihawk and takes the opportunity to challenge him to a fight. Mihawk defends all Zoro's attacks. He defends his 3 swords with just a small dagger. This shows how long Zoro has to go if he wants to be the best, and the only way to be the best is to be better than Mihawk. Zoro uses his onigiri on Mihawk but fails to land it right, and Mihawk easily stabs Zoro near his heart. Zoro still standing straight and wanting to continue the fight, with Mihawk acknowledging Zoro's ability, and pulled out his black sword and moved towards Zoro. Zoro also used a technique called 3000 Worlds, but he got defeated. But regardless, Mihawk destroys 2 of Zoro's swords completely, leaving just the Ichimonji sword. Mihawk was about to strike on Zoro's back, to which Zoro turned and told him to put a scar on his chest, as a scar on a swordsman's back is a disgrace. Mihawk puts a scar on Zoro and leaves the place. Zoro knew he was not as good as Mihawk. He took the scar as a remembrance of his foolish act of underestimating his greatest opponent. But he was not sad. The hope was still burning. He knew defeat is necessary for him to achieve his dreams. Zoro has come a long way, and he has fought the guy who he always wanted to fight. Although the result was not in his favor, he now knows how good the best swordsman of the One Piece universe is. Zoro faced a lot of terrible situations after his duel against Mihawk. I'm emphasizing Mihawk because he plays a major role in Zoro's arc. He is that mountain peak that Zoro wants to climb and replace. Zoro has improved his ability skills by this time. He is super fast and has now learned new techniques like 3000 Worlds and onigiri in his sleeves, although these techniques are nothing in front of Mihawk at this point in time. Zoro knows this fact very well, but now he is a member of a pirate crew, and his dreams are important. But there are many things equally important to him. He does not want to lose his new friends. He will have to improve to be able to help his friends from bigger threats. This is just a chunk of his character arc, and there is a lot more to talk about when it comes to his evolution. Zoro fights several enemies in the Arabasta saga, and becomes an integral part of the Straw Hat crew. Zoro later got a new special sword, which he earned by passing a test by flipping a sword upwards and keeping his hands horizontally straight as the sword comes down, and the sword falls without slicing Zoro's hand. By now, Zoro has fought Boogie, Arlong, Krieg, and many others, but all this is before the time skip. Zoro's battles become more interesting after the time skip, but we'll discuss this another time, in a part 2 of the series. If you guys would like to see a part 2, be sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on Zoro. Also, who is your favorite One Piece character? Let me know down in the comments down below. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.